Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Cozy Mystery Mingle. And today we have Ginger Bolton.
Hi.
So, if you did not notice, Ginger has a fabulous hat that has a donut on it because we're talking about her awesome new book number 8, which is Double Grudge Doughnuts. So, did you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and then about your book?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I write full time, and I wrote part time for a long time before I wrote full time, but now I write full time, and I'm writing the Deputy Donut Mysteries. They take place in a donut shop in Falling Brook, Wisconsin, which is a fictional town. And um, my character co-owns a donut shop and coffee shop, and this is a good place to pick up clues because there are people that come into the donut shop. A lot of them are first responders, and a lot of her friends and relatives are first responders. So she's doesn't mean to solve murders, but it just sort of happens.
That's
She has
perfect.
She has a cat named Deputy, whose own name is Deputy Donut. The shop was named after her, after the cat, and it's Dep for short. The cat goes to and from work with Emily, my character, and well, we can get into more detail, I guess, later.
Sure. So, who gets murdered in this book?
Who gets murdered? Oh, it's Kirk McLean.
Uh-huh.
He's a janitor at the local high school, and he plays the bagpipes.
Okay. So bagpiper makes you think, is he Scottish?
His name is Scottish, but
Okay.
he was born in the US, I think, and he only moved to Falling Brook in the last few months.
Okay. Because as soon as I heard Scottish bagpiper, and maybe it's because of that other TV show that's really popular, but I just thought, is he good looking? And is this like a tragedy for all the single ladies inside of Fallbrook, Wisconsin?
No, I didn't want to do that to the single lady. So he's he's a kind of a middle-aged curmudgeon guy. I think he's kind of scruffy, but he wears the full Highland regalia and does that well. So,
Okay.
his pleats are knife sharp and everything, and he can swagger around in his kilt with the best of them.
Okay. And so how does Emily get involved in this mystery?
Emily, she finds his body actually, but before that, he was Falling Brook is holding an arts festival, 6-day arts festival, and on the first night is Musical Monday. So musicians are competing in the bandstand in Falling Brook, in the town square, and a cornet player is playing, and Kirk comes along with his bagpipe behind the audience and starts screeching and squawking, and the cornetist, who was actually a good musician, uh, got got flustered and stomped off the stage. Then that night, um, Emily's parents are staying with her because they're judges for some of the competitions, and they're staying in town with her. They were waking to the sound of bagpipes like at 3 in the morning. They heard somebody playing bagpipes. Then the next afternoon is Troubadour Tuesday, so the performers are supposed to be singers. So Emily figures, well, this bagpiper's not going to come along and disrupt any performances. Wrong. He disturbs 4 teenagers who are singing in a barbershop quartet. And they get flustered and run away. And so by this time, he's annoyed a lot of people in and around Falling Brook. And the next morning, Emily's cat walks to work on a leash. They're walking to work, and Emily's cat kind of pulls her toward a puddle behind a camper van, and there are the sodden bagpipes in a puddle, and Kirk McLean, who is no longer alive. So, and beside him is a piece of a Deputy Donut mug from her shop.
All
And
right.
so and she calls the police immediately, of course, and her
Mhm.
fiance is the detective. And he comes along and um, takes her information. This hand is going to fall off.
Oh, she can't even tell.
Um, and he that's not working at all. There, there. Now we're perfect. Um, uh, we're- um,
So
oh,
she calls her the cops. She
yeah,
found the
showing the
boyfriend,
cops,
the body.
and because this piece of a mug was near his body, it looks suspicious. But she still doesn't really mean to go out and be meddlesome and
Mhm.
check on, and solve the crime. However, it happens.
All right.
She just can't
Well,
help it because of all these people that come into the shop and the people she meets and somebody who begs her to clear her name and
mhm. Yeah, and it sounds like you said he's not this hot, dashing single bachelor. He was someone that everyone was happy when he died. So there's lots of suspects.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, wouldn't say happy, but there are lots of suspects. Yeah.
Right. So there's lots of suspects. It's a small town. So Falling Brook, Wisconsin. How similar is this to your current small town?
It's, I think small towns have a lot in common. Um, I've lived in cities and I've lived in small towns. And in cities, if you want to do something, if you want to be entertained, you can go out to, a play or a movie
Mhm.
or a concert or whatever. In the small towns, people make their own fun. So they make festivals. They join clubs that do things together. I mean, this
Mhm.
happens in big cities too, but um, so that I actually see that where I live too. Um, our small town is growing fast. Falling Brook is more stuck in in its pleasant early years. It was founded in Victorian times,
Mhm.
and they've kept a lot of the old buildings and but but like every small town, then they have suburbs. I mean,
Okay.
a small town doesn't have much in the way of suburbs, but as you go farther from the center of town, the buildings are newer.
Okay. Well, it sounds very nice, Victorian, very historic and picturesque.
Yeah, you can do
And
that when you write.
yeah, for sure. And I'm guessing there's not an overabundance of Scottish people there. And I only think that because of the bagpiper.
Yeah, no, there aren't.
Okay.
But
Anything else? Oh, go on.
there's a variety of people.
Mhm.
Wisconsin has a lot of people of Scandinavian descent ancestry,
Okay.
but
Not
that,
Scottish.
that would be what you would probably notice, but
Mhm.
but not so much.
Okay. And then anything else cool or interesting about Fallenbrook? Are they big into cheese like the rest of Wisconsin?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, everybody is, and into the Green Bay Packers, and which Green Bay is pretty far away, but that doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Also, Falling Brook is surrounded by woods and lakes and streams and waterfalls, falling
Mhm.
brooks, and rocky places. It's very beautiful um, outside of town.
Oh, nice. And so would you want to live in Fallingbrook, Wisconsin?
If it weren't for the murders,
But they have such good donuts.
they have good donuts. They have
Mhm.
other um, pubs and restaurants that sell good things. They have, and I would love the to be out in those woods and um, on those lakes in my kayak, and which I don't do much of anymore. But um, it, yeah, it's beautiful. So yes, I would, but there are a few too many murders.
Well, so let's talk about donuts because who doesn't love donuts? How did you end up choosing donuts versus like cupcakes or pastries or ice cream or basically any other shop in the entire world?
Well, you can blame the cozy author Lori Cass for that. She lives in Michigan, and
Mhm.
she mentioned a shop in Michigan, in Clare, Michigan, that um, it's called Cops and Doughnuts. When the
Mhm.
local bakery was going out of business, the police department, the policemen, there were like 9 in the village, um, decided that they would buy it. And this was some years ago. So they have bought it and it's called Cops and Donuts. It's a bakery. Uh,
Mhm.
of course, I've been there, and their donuts are to die for. Anyway, I thought it would be a great idea to have a donut shop owned and run by cops, because that's such a cliche that
Okay.
cops do nothing but eat donuts and drink coffee. And of course, that's not true. But so I thought it would be fun to have a shop like that, where, of course, even if the person who ran the shop is not a first responder, she's
Mhm.
with a lot of them and she can kind of listen to things and hear them. And her friends are first responders, um, so
Yeah.
she learns a lot there.
I mean, that's a genius idea for a setting. I mean, I don't know why there haven't been more. It seems like the most natural place, like you said, to find first responders of all types to get
Yeah,
information.
and also the bad guys go there too.
Yeah, yeah. And like everyone's just talking about crime and what's going on and everything else. So let's talk about you as a donut. So I'm guessing you like donuts.
Oh yes, very
Okay.
much.
And are you a Krispy Kreme girl or more of those fancy artisanal donuts? Like, what's your favorite?
Both.
Both. Okay. And what's your favorite go-to? Like your
But I'll tell you what, the artisanal ones are. I wouldn't be able to decide. If you go into one of those shops that sells those donuts that are
Mhm.
mounted with everything under the
Oh yeah.
sun and every color, and they're beautiful and they're
Mhm.
tasty, and you want one of each and you can't eat one of each. So my favorite ones are the plain ones.
The plain ones. Okay.
I
All
love,
right.
like a raised glazed donut with just vanilla glaze on it,
Mhm.
cruller, or an old fashioned donut with cinnamon and sugar and nutmeg on it.
And what about the filled donuts, like the Bavarian cream or the
Oh,
chocolate cream ones?
yeah, I like those too, but they're
Okay.
messy. You know,
They're not your favorite.
they're
Okay.
not my favorites, um, but you know, they're all
Mhm.
good.
Okay. And are you dunking your donuts in coffee or a latte, or what do you have with your donuts?
Um, Coffee or milk, but yeah,
Okay.
I love coffee, I- which might be obvious from the way I write the books too.
Well, you never know. I mean, I talk about coffee all the time. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I always put them in the books because that seems more natural. I think everyone loves coffee.
Yeah, but you can't beat milk to eat with cookies
Oh,
and things like that.
yeah, that's true too. So our coffee shops here are very much like get it and go. They're more like a counter service. Do you have like in your town, do they have local coffee shops where you can like sit down and hang out and do you write at your donut coffee shops?
Yeah, we have the kind that you can sit down and hang out, and
Oh,
people do. I
nice.
couldn't I couldn't write in one because I would be too distracted.
By the
Um,
donuts?
no, well, yeah, but probably by the conversations.
Oh, yeah,
So, I
that's
mean,
true.
I would probably sit there and just transcribe what I heard, which is,
Mhm.
you know, also that would be a fun thing to do. I could walk to the donut shop, but I just stay away.
Okay. So this is book 8. So let's just talk to help bring everyone up to speed. If they jump into book 8 first, how did Emily get the coffee shop or the donut shop? Sorry.
She and her partner bought it.
Okay.
And she had her business partner is the father of her late husband. Her first husband was a detective who unfortunately died in the line of duty,
Mhm.
and she had life insurance for him. He had life insurance, so that's how she managed to buy a donut shop and start it. She was just making donuts and taking them and catering. basically, and she would make them into shapes like cakes and whatever, pile them up, and people just wanted them and said, Emily, start a donut shop. So she did.
Okay. And her dad in the books is a cop. Did I read that right or no?
No, her ex-father, her father-in-law, the father of her
The
ex
father-in-law. Got it.
is a detective. He's retired. He was
Okay.
police chief, so he was a police chief and detective in Falling Brook.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows a lot of history, and she can say, "Did you ever hear anything about this person or that person?"
Okay. And so does the father-in-law approve of her like running out and trying to solve crimes?
Not at all.
No. Why
So
doesn't
he
he
will
want her?
answer her questions if he
Uh-huh.
thinks that she's not going to cause trouble for herself, but he keeps reminding her, stay out of it, don't get into anything.
So he's worried about her getting in danger.
Yeah, because to him and his wife, she's still a valued daughter.
Okay. And then what about her fiance?
Oh, he doesn't like it either.
He does not. Okay.
Though she does. When she finds something out, she tells him about it. And she said, "Oh, by the way, somebody was in the shop today, and they said that blah blah blah." And oh, by the way, I went over there and talked to somebody. You did? So she's pretty honest about it, but
Mhm.
not entirely. And of course, they would like her to not meddle.
Okay. So does she have a sidekick or someone that helps her solve these mysteries?
Um, it varies from book to book as far
Okay.
as the humans go.
Hmm.
So she has two best friends from junior high, but one's a policewoman, so she's not gonna be a sidekick, and the other one's an emergency medical technician.
Hmm.
So she's also she hasn't done it much yet. Probably won't because she's having a baby, but um, but that's I'm getting ahead of I'm like 2 books ahead of this, so I'm like
Right.
going back, because it's just coming out, but I just turned in
Hmm.
the 9th book. Um, the cat is in a way a sidekick, but the cat doesn't talk or anything like that.
Okay.
She'll offer clues, like she'll puff up and hiss and arch her back if she doesn't like somebody, but
Hmm.
you can't really believe a cat about what she likes and doesn't like because she likes herrings whether they're red or not. So
Hmm.
she's but she does, things like pull Emily toward, you know, what is that over there? It looks like a wet bagpipe and maybe a corpse.
Hmm. Oh, right. The cat helped her find the body.
Yeah, the cat helps her find the body, and the cat is often in at the takedown.
Okay. And does the cat hang
And
out with her? Oh, go on.
helps in one way or another. Like,
Okay. And does the cat hang out with her at the donut shop all day and the customers all like love the cat?
yeah, except because I was very careful with food safety rules, so the cat is not allowed in the shop with
Oh.
the customers, and she's not allowed in the kitchen or the dining room. But they built Emily and Tom, her father-in-law, built this shop so that it has um, uh, an office for them,
Hmm.
but they put 4 windows on all 4 sides of the office. One looks into the kitchen, one looks into the dining room, and then one looks into the back alley or the side
Hmm.
alley, and one looks into the back parking lot. So this cat is seen and can see and look out, and so people admire the cat. She sits in the window so they can see her.
So it's like a kitty playpen almost.
It is, and it has tunnels and ramps and columns, and the cat can run up and down, up to the ceiling and down and all over the place and drop toys on Emily.
Well, that's cute. All right. So let's just talk about your other pen name, Janet Bolin. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Okay. Threadville Mysteries. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those? Because if you guys like Ginger Bolton, she has 5 mysteries, right? In the Threadville Mysteries?
Yeah, yes, there are 5 Threadville mysteries. Um, dire thread. Well, I won't go through them all, but they have titles like Dire Threads and Threaded for Trouble.
Mhm.
And I designed a town. I didn't. There were no good fiber arts and thread crafting shops or yarn shops near where I lived. So I designed a town that had everything that I would want. So there's a quilt shop, there's a fabric shop, there's a yarn shop, there's a shop that sells buttons and notions. And my character does machine embroidery and sells the machines that you use to do those, which was something I was doing at the time. Now I don't have time. Um, so I designed this town and I thought, and I would get so into it that I think, oh, I'll just run across the street and get some thread. Oh, no,
Mhm.
I can't because I'm not Willow and I don't live in Threadville and I can't just go across the street and buy what I need to make something. So I designed this town, and Willow has a sidekick in that
Okay.
series, and her sidekick Haley was raised by three women.
Mhm.
One of who is her mother, her actual mother, but her mother's two best friends, and so they call them the three weird mothers. And they they are they are a little weird.
That's not, I mean, it sounds like a lot of girl power.
It is. It's great fun.
Good. All right. And so you actually used to embroider yourself?
Yeah, with machine embroidery, like the home kind of machine
Mhm.
embroidery machine, that not the gigantic things that you know that you see industrially, but you know
Is
I
it the same one? Like, I'll go to the store. You know how you can like have it personalized for you at the store? Is that the same machine? You'll be like, I want my name, like Lisa
yeah
on the shirt. It's
yeah
that
I
machine,
mean
right?
these machines are like not much bigger than a sewing machine.
Okay. Yeah.
Mine has
Yeah.
mine's a sewing machine, and then it has this little module that attaches to it,
Hmm.
and it sits there and goes boo 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 boo. Boo.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I find those fascinating. When you get them done, you're like mesmerized by watching
Yeah,
the magic.
so I was into all of that, and then the software and everything kind of I didn't keep up with it, so
Mm. All right. Do you do other things? Cross stitch, crochet, knit?
I crochet and knit. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Nice.
I keep making shawls that have crocheted shawls that have skulls,
Skulls?
like
Okay.
crocheted into them these eyes and teeth and everything.
Is that just your favorite design to put into something?
Yeah, it's fun to do, and but uh, who would want one?
I guess another mystery author.
Yeah.
Cozy mystery fans. Maybe you can stick a bottle of poison or something next to it. So, yeah, and I guess we should go back to your other books. So, in the Falling Brook, do you have a lot of friends who are cops? Because it seems like Emily has just all cop friends, cop
Yeah.
everything.
No, I don't.
You don't. Okay. That's okay.
But one retired cop friend has been reading my novels and commenting and
So you
saying,
do
no,
have a
they
cop
don't do that.
friend. Oh, well, cats also probably don't help lead you and come for takedowns at mystery solving,
No.
but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mystery authors don't actually solve mysteries either very often, I don't think. I don't.
I do not either. I think also, people who write thrillers about serial killers probably don't kill people a lot either. So
No, no.
that's okay. But I do like eating donuts, and I think you do too. So that's good book research.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, um, yeah, I have to research by making
Mhm.
donuts. Researching for embroidery was much easier, much less fattening.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize there's no recipes in the book, right? Because donuts have to be deep fried. That's like a whole different
Oh,
process,
yeah,
right?
there are recipes in the
Oh, there
yeah,
are.
there are.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. And so, do you have to deep fry the donuts in your
I
recipes,
do
or are they
that.
baked?
I had to get a deep fryer.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Not
every
an
single book has donut
again,
recipes.
it's not an industrial sized deep fryer.
Right. It's fun for home. So does every single book have donut recipes?
Yeah,
And
like,
so how do you pick which donut recipes go into which books?
um, I tend whichever ones I wrote about.
Whichever
So
one's favorite. Okay.
so if I don't put a lot of recipes in because
Mhm.
the basic donut recipes are kind of like, here's the raised version and here's the unraised version. And so, it's just what you add and how you make it. You can also bake donuts. So I usually have a deep fried recipe and at least one baked recipe. You can buy these pans with little circle.
I have one of those. Yeah. I can
Yeah,
bake them. Yeah. Those
yeah,
are easy. The frying looks very difficult. So, well, I guess you could use an air fryer, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
And so are you testing out all the recipes?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay.
But,
What's your favorite at home donut recipe?
um, I think the cinnamon twists came out really well. And
Okay.
they're in Cinnamon Twisted, the seventh one. And then I forget which book it is. I think it's the third one. Jealousy Filled Donuts has
Mhm.
one called Black and White Donuts.
Oh, okay.
And
That
they are
chocolate and
really,
vanilla?
yeah, they're chocolate. Yeah. They, they are basically, they taste like an Oreo cookie as a
Mm.
donut. So that's,
Yum.
so you slice the baked donuts in half and you put
Mhm.
this filling that's very much like Oreo cookie filling in.
Oh,
And
that makes
those are
sense.
fun.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great. And then Karen said, I'd probably have to do extensive donut research if I wrote your
Oh,
book.
I think so.
That's perfect.
In fact, if anybody wants to do extensive donut research and send me a recipe, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess what are your writing plans for 2024? You said you just turned to book 9 and then 10 is on the way, right?
Yeah, 10. So, yeah, 10 has to be turned in on September 1st. So
Okay.
I've now written about 6 pages.
That's good. I mean, you have plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. Yeah. I know where it's going. I know I write a very long outline, which my editor has approved,
Mhm.
not improved, but approved. And so I know where it's going, and I basically
Mhm.
know that I have enough. You need 4 or 5 uh, suspects
Mhm.
to fill out the 80,000 words.
I'm
So I've
sure.
got about 1,000 words. So not 79,000 to go.
All
Um,
right. And then so when does book 9 come out later this year?
yeah, November, late November. I
Oh,
think the 26th,
great.
Christmas,
Okay.
around Thanksgiving.
And I forgot to ask you this. People can read your books out of order, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
they can.
Okay.
Um, I personally prefer to read series in order
Mhm.
because you won't in my books you won't get any spoilers. You won't find out from book 4 that well, that person didn't kill someone in book 2 because here she
Mm.
is. Um,
Mhm.
so there are no spoilers like that. The main reason to read them in order is that the characters have and they have they grow and progress. Their
Mhm.
personalities change a little bit, like there's romance
Mhm.
that managed to get stretched out through quite a few books.
Yeah, I mean, Emily has a fiance, so we obviously don't start out the book with her having a fiance or the series.
No,
You'd have to find that
this
out along the
yeah,
way.
in Survival of the Fritters, the first one, she hadn't seen him for several years, and
Mhm.
she didn't really want to see him again because he was her ex-husband's partner, and
Mm.
they both had guilt about the death, and
Mhm.
they eventually learned to share their grief and to tell each other, no, it wasn't your fault,
Mhm.
but that takes a few books
Okay.
to get
That's
over
okay.
that.
All right. So those are writing plans. And so where can readers find you if they want? Are you like big on social media at all?
Um, well, you can, yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram, and
Mhm.
those are both under Ginger Bolton.
Okay.
And Twitter, I don't do much on Twitter anymore. Um, I'm on Threads. I haven't really gotten into Threads yet.
Mhm.
That should have existed when I had Threadville.
Great.
And of course there's my website, which is gingerbolton.com, and that will give you the links.
Okay. And you have a newsletter, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, if you go to gingerbolton.com, you can sign up for my newsletter, and that would be very nice
Mhm.
because I don't send them out very often. I don't inundate my fans with with newsletters.
Okay, that's all right. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on today and sharing more about your book with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on.